The presenting sponsor of Upmarket is Aereo, the best place to grow and manage your real estate media business online at aereo.com. That's ARYEO.com.
Coming to you from the Upmarket studio at Gasworks in beautiful San Buenaventura, California, this is Upmarket, a podcast about the business of real estate photography and media. My name is Reed Fish. I'm the CEO and the co-founder of Upmarket Media. And a little lonely over here today. I got no Mark, no Chelsea. She's producing from afar, but that's okay. I think we got some good guests coming on here today, so I think we're going to be fine. But I did want to say before we get to that, this is the final push for the Tour to PMRE sweepstakes from iGuide. So remember, iGuide is teaming up with us to offer this amazing sweepstakes to give away 2 all-expense-paid trips to PMRE on November 13th through 15th in Las Vegas, Nevada this year. And that's the Photo and Media for Real Estate Conference. If you haven't been, I cannot recommend it enough. And iGuide is giving away these unbelievable sweepstakes. So please go to goigguide.com/PMRE and enter your email address. It's that simple. You enter that email address, and then you're going to go to Instagram and you're going to follow go_iGuide, and you are going to follow Upmarket Pod. You do those things, and you're going to be entered to win a full trip to PMRE. And if you already have your PMRE ticket, which I hope you do, and you win this sweepstakes, iGuide will actually reimburse you for the tickets and any travel costs that you have accumulated so far to get to Las Vegas. So go iGuide.com/PMRE. Please, please, please. The sweepstakes ends August 15th at 9 a.m. Pacific, noon Eastern. So I should have led with that, but the sweepstakes is ending. This is the final couple days. So please get on there. Go iGuide.com/PMRE. And, speaking of PMRE, one of the best things about PMRE is, as we've talked about so many times, is getting to know other real estate media professionals, other people who can share your pain, commiserate, and who that you can learn from and maybe teach some and, just kind of collaborate on how you run your business. And so we've met so many people, and I'm very happy today to have one of those people that I think Mark and I met 3 years ago at PMRE. This gentleman is in an interesting place in his business. And so that's why we wanted to have him on, is because he's kind of reminiscent of where Mark and I were a few years ago. I have from Blueprint Media in Centralia, Washington, we have Alex Farrell here. So Alex, can you tell me just kind of briefly where you are in your business right now?
Yeah, absolutely. And Reed, it's a pleasure to be here. Big fan of the show. I think I've listened to almost every single episode up to this point.
Oh, all right. Wow. You're still awake. That's great.
Yeah, right. So where we're at in the business is we've been growing it for 3 years. A lot of it going back to PMRE and meeting all these other media companies, gotten to know so many people that are in different places of their business. But more importantly, the thing that interests me a lot with you and Mark and Upmarket when I started listening to the podcast is your partnership. That got me very interested throughout the last 2 years of understanding that at some point in my business, I probably will get to the point where I don't want to do this by myself anymore. And more importantly, I have gotten now busy enough where I need a second shooter. And recently I had a brokerage that actually reached out to have me do a temporary contract for 30 days, which fast-tracked the need for a second photographer.
Sure.
I found Jeremy on Facebook. He actually got tagged in a post through a realtor, a local realtor group. And I just reached out to see if he'd be interested in coming on board as a second photographer. We met, talked over lunch, had a couple other meetings, and he was like, yeah, where I'm at in my life and what I'm doing, that will work great. We fast-tracked the training, and we ended up doing 42 shoots last month, and I've been probably averaging by myself maybe like 25, 30. So it was a lot of work. And through that whole process, we've kind of become friends. We've also had a lot of conversations about the business. Things seem to make a lot of sense. We really align on a lot of different things. And, I thought it just kind of over, we were just having a couple of beers and over conversation of what do you want to do in the future? How do you see yourself, down the road? The concept of doing what I'm doing. So I just was like, hey, what do you think about maybe, joining the company down the road as something that could be more permanent?
Man, that's kind of moving at the speed of light. And so I want to get a different perspective on this. So we also have with us, let's bring in the other guest. Well, this is exciting. So we actually have this guy, Jeremy, who you've been working with now for not that long. And it's Jeremy Almond. How long you've been working with Alex for a couple months now, and how is it going? You're enjoying real estate photography?
Yeah. So again, thanks for having me on the show. Yeah, Alex and I have been working together for about a month and a half, less than 2 months now. We had that big contract that really fast-tracked everything. But I had actually been working part-time with my own photography company, kind of on the side. I was working full-time flying drones for a blasting company, a rock drilling and blasting company. And so then this opportunity came along, and here we are.
So Alex, can you kind of tell me what you're like? I think we were talking to you a few weeks ago and you were saying, I want to, or just maybe last week, I know you had a conversation with Mark and you were kind of seeking advice on partnering. And now that seems pretty quick in this relationship. How did that kind of come into play here?
So the conversation with Mark was, I guess I got a little excited. So I said, I really need to reach out to somebody who's been there and is smarter than I am and really get some, real business advice. Mark also agreed. It was like, well, it seems like a little fast, but, here's where I could see it could be beneficial based on where you're at. And then he recommended to reach out to the business coach, to Jeff, and kind of get some real business advice. Through that conversation, it was like, whoa, let's create a plan that so it can be done we can implement it in a way that makes sense and that's smart. So it's definitely still on the table. But now we're kind of like in this 6-month plan. We're dating, right? We're nearly into this relationship. In fact, I was just thinking this morning, I was like, it's like our 1 month anniversary. I should bring 6-pack of beer or something.
Wow. Well, okay, but and I guess as part of that plan, so I am kind of curious because Mark and I, when we came together, is a little different deal than you guys because we were, each other's biggest competitors, and we were, we already each had a decent market share in our area. But this sounds like almost like you're why are you, I guess, wanting to partner with Jeremy instead of just having a employer and employee relationship?
The idea of just two heads are better than one. Jeremy's an extremely smart guy, and being able to bounce ideas, actual business ideas off of each other and work kind of more in tandem rather than just being, employee versus employer.
There's more skin in the game for Jeremy. Yeah. I am curious as to what the, for Mark and I, we had similar sized businesses. So when we came together, boom, okay, fine. We just split it 50-50. But have you guys talked about that? Is what's kind of the buy-in from Jeremy to get in, to all of a sudden just become part owner, or a partner in this thriving business? I mean, that seems like, I just want to know how that's working.
Yeah, 100%. So that's kind of why we kind of pumped the brakes on it, and we got him on as a W-2 employee. So he is now, his main role is second shooter. The idea of how we're going to implement that is through sweat equity. Also there's, monetary investment. But yeah, he definitely does have to, kind of buy in to the company. And right now, working with the business coach, we're evaluating what the value, of the percent. Like, there is a lot more to it than when you have to figure out when somebody buys into a company. There's a very extensive evaluation process that needs to happen with the numbers.
Yeah, for sure.
To understand like how much a share of the company is, and how much do you want to buy in, and how much do you want to own, how much responsibility do you want to have. So.
Well, and then what is your legal business structure? Are you sole proprietor or LLC?
I'm an S corp.
S corp. Okay, yeah, same as us. Yeah, so you just have like shareholders, and I'm no expert in it.
I'm just learning on the go. I'm just learning on the fly, like we all are. It's just I mean, 2 days ago, I knew, half of what I know now. But after talking to Mark, after talking to Jeff, and after talking to another business coach,
right.
I know a lot more. I actually know more. Anyways.
Right. Well, I guess, Jeremy, like, how are you feeling about the potential terms? And obviously you guys, I don't know if you've worked out the terms yet, but.
Yeah, no, it's a great opportunity. But, like Alex was talking about, pumping the brakes and kind of slowing everything down and working through what we need to work through, I think is the best course of action. I'm fairly excited about it. Where I was when I was first contacted by Alex, I was actually, I was in the process of going full time with my business. I was having some projects and some things going on that I was having to cancel, just to still continue to be full time doing my regular job. And so I was at that point where I was expanding out on my own. But Alex, him and I working in the same area, he's light years ahead of where I am or was with my business. We got along really well. We think just about the same about business. And so everything just where he's at and where I was going to and the needs for both of our businesses, it just felt like the right opportunity.
Are you planning on keeping your other business?
Yeah, Alex and I have talked about that. Obviously, I'm not going to be doing any real estate photography with my company. That's all shut down. That's all my clients and the realtors that I know were coming over to Blueprint now. So for my business specifically, I'm just going to keep it doing portrait photography and stuff like that as time allows. Alex and I have already discussed that the focus right now is scaling Blueprint, and I'm on board with that.
And so, but you are then bringing some clients over with you.
Yeah, some clients that I already have. And then he knows realtors that I don't. I know realtors that he doesn't. Sure. So that's what I'm also bringing over to Blueprint is, that network.
Right. Yeah. Well, and that's valuable, right? I mean, that's that becomes kind of the whole package of what you bring. Of what you bring to the business. Do you have kind of marketing plans to grow the business over the next few months?
I think Alex can probably talk more to that. We've got a whole whiteboard of ideas. So
good.
That has been something that's been forefront of what's been going on the last several weeks. Now that we're finished with that contract where I initially came on, now we've got a little bit of breathing room and we're able to slow down and then kind of focus and get that bigger picture of where to go from here.
Well, and Alex, can you tell me about this contract a little bit more? Because I'm curious, because I always want to hear about these brokerage deals. So you have a 30-day contract with a brokerage, I'm assuming, to do all their listings, but why couldn't it be a year? Why couldn't it be 60 days? Or
essentially it was a fill-in. This brokerage that's about an hour west of us towards the coast. They're the largest brokerage in the county that they're in. They have an in-house photographer that decided to go on a 30-day vacation, or I don't know what the reason is, but they were going to be gone for about a month and they needed somebody to fill in. A good friend of mine, Matt, he owns Front Porch Media, was their photographer in the past. So they reached out to him and Matt said, you need to call Alex. He's your guy. The managing broker called me, and then it was just like a plan of like, hey, I've going to have all these listings for 30 days and then we'll see in the future if that works out.
Right.
So,
Right. Well, if the in-house person is back, then, but, so I guess that's going to be a hard nut. But then if they had a good experience, obviously you're going to be on their radar.
They had a great experience, and it was a great experience for us because I was actually able to implement the whole side of how to, through Ario, how to break them off their own ordering form, their own ordering questions, their own packages. Mm-hmm. So I gained that experience. So when that next opportunity comes up, I already have the experience.
Well, that's great. And of course, and you can market off that, say, hey, we have, covered entire brokerages in the past and we have the ability to do that. And then, all those kind of things, if you can put them in your arsenal when you are talking to the brokers and trying to come up with these brokerage deals, I think is, it's pretty key. It sounds like you were able to get Jeremy pretty trained up pretty quickly because you were able to fulfill that. I mean, because you've only known each other 6 weeks or a month. Are you shooting with Flash, or are you shooting HDR or Flamboyant, or what are you doing?
No, I recently, I kind of been following footsteps here of other people that are more successful than me. I mean, that's the smartest thing I could do. I went no Flash about 2 months ago. Yeah, got off the Flash wagon. It's
pretty good over here on this side, isn't it?
It was really, he already had the full concept of shooting a house. I just needed to refine him with angles and compositions so that it was more consistent to my style.
All right. Well, yeah. So, I mean, it sounds like Jeremy. Actually, do you want to move down to Ventura County? It sounds like you're.
I'm not up to Alex's level. I do pretty good, but.
Yeah, well, that's all right. We don't need Alex level. We just need Jeremy level.
We're still working on it, but yeah.
Yeah, it's fine. Well, that's it. Yeah, that sounds like the dream scenario. So look, I want to talk more with you guys, but let's take a little quick break and let's come back. We'll do a social media sidebar, and then we'll talk some more. And then at the end, come on, action items. So we're gonna get the triple action item today. Oh, you know you're gonna love that. All right, we'll be right back. Oh, Ario, how do I love thee? Let me count the ways, hundreds and hundreds of ways that I love Ario, because look, they make our lives better every single day. Ario is an amazing backend platform to run your business off of. So you can schedule, you can deliver the photos, you can bill. There's so many other things you can do. It creates marketing materials for your agents. It creates websites. It's so smart. They have apps that you can download, not only for the backend stuff, but there's apps that your clients can download that you're branded to you. I mean, Ario just has it all. Bottom line is Ario enhances your business. It makes you look better in front of your clients. It makes your life easier and more efficient. So if you want to get in on the party, and let me tell you, it is a party. You can go to Ario.com and use the code Upmarket. And you're going to get 15 free bonus listings if you are a new user. I implore you, please check out Ario. It's so amazing. Love it. Use it every single day in this business. In the floor plan of my heart, all lines, all rooms, all paths lead to Second Floor app. Because Second Floor app is, we all know, it's the best way to make floor plans on your phone, on the go, quickly in houses when you are shooting. You can spend 5 minutes, open up that little Second Floor app, go to town, scan that house. It's going to take you 5, 6, 7 minutes, and instantly, as soon as you're done, boom, you got a floor plan. So the fastest delivery of floor plans available that I know of is Second Floor app. We've had a lot of fun with Second Floor app over the last year, 2 years, making floor plan jokes. And I'm going to continue to do that because they're a wonderful sponsor of this show. And I implore you to look past the jokes and actually look at the meat on the bone here of Second Floor App. So go to secondfloorapp.com/upmarket and you're going to get a free month of service. So that means you can get so many floor plans done, and they're all done instantly and deliverable to your clients, and you can upcharge them. So not only you get a free month of service, but then when you start paying for it after that month, you're going to be able to upcharge your clients, and you're going to make so much more money than what you're paying Second Floor. So come on, no brainer. Secondfloorapp.com/upmarket. Okay, social media sidebar. We're Upmarket Pod across all. Oh, come on, just whatever. Instagram, that's the only place we're doing anything. I got that TikTok account, but it's just been sitting there. They haven't been doing anything, but that's okay. And then we're also Upmarket.media on social media. You can check out our flagship operation and see all the amazing photo shoots, all our houses of the week of some, usually something on the beach or on the hill. And we're doing content about our new studio space, about the other podcast we do, the Real VC podcast, which is geared for realtors in our area as marketing for us. And then Alex, where can we find you?
You can find me on Instagram at blueprint_media_. Unfortunately, I had to get 2 underscores.
I have to remind Alex about his
URL. It's a work in progress, I guess.
The
I just threw it up there a while ago. Yeah. So blueprint_, _media_. That's a mouthful. Of course, you can find me on blueprintmediallc.com is my website. I am on TikTok, but don't really do a whole lot there either.
Yeah. And then Jeremy, you got an Instagram?
My business one is Centerville 3D for Instagram. Facebook is the same handle.
Well, and then are you guys, are you marketing on Instagram a lot, or it sounds like okay, Alex, you barely know your handle. So, but you are actually, you are actually using it.
Yes.
You're basically a power user. But are you finding that you're getting any business from it?
No.
All right. Yeah. Okay. Well, that's our social media sidebar. So there we go. Thank you guys. And we will be back, and we're going to talk more with these guys, and then we are going to do our action items. Okay, guys. So here's what I want to talk about now. So, Alex, you have said, okay, your business has really taken off in this last year, and so what is it? How have you done that? Has it been a certain kind of marketing? Has it just been word of mouth? Has it been outside of this brokerage deal? It sounds like even before that you were getting pretty busy and had a need for a second shooter. So, what have you been doing?
Most of it has been word of mouth referrals. We live in a small town, so it's easier to have the word spread, quickly through realtors. It's kind of more of a tight knit group. I also hang out with a lot of realtors and other people in the industry.
All right.
I go to lunch. There's a kind of a business networking lunch that happens every week. I've been attending that for about a week. I've been attending that for about a year and a half now.
Okay.
Where there, I don't necessarily talk about business. I just build relationships. And once in a while, somebody will be like, "Oh, Alex, you're here. Great. I've got a listing. Can we talk about it?" And then go from there. Some have come from social media, but I've really just implemented myself in the community, and referrals has been the best thing for me.
Well, what changed? I mean, has it just been being in business for long enough that word of mouth is starting to really come through?
Yeah. And I think it's just kind of compounding, every year it just kind of, you grow a client base, and then that client base grows more because they're telling other people, and it's just kind of been compounding.
Yeah, sure. If you have 30 clients talking about you, then all of a sudden you're going to have 50 clients talking about you, then 100, and then it just snowballs. I mean, and effectively, I think that's how Mark and I, built our business to the point where we were when we merged. But then since then, and maybe that's kind of the draw of bringing on Jeremy, is that we've been able to really focus on marketing. Because we have not been shooting as much, each of us. And so, or even just having another person to talk about stuff with, to be able to go to the networking events or to be able to do all that kind of stuff. So is that kind of the plan moving forward? Is that you're actually going to do some marketing, or is really Jeremy coming on to just shoot?
No, absolutely. We've got a lot of marketing plans in place. Jeremy's going to be helping with the social media, which we kind of just gave him access to all that the other day. Mm-hmm. And we've been, every day we've been building marketing plans and taking action on that and then he's been able to do the shoots, and then I can be in the office and I'm actually can build a marketing plan and set up things to go out and shoot stuff and, do all the computer work for it. So it's been really nice to have somebody that's able to do the shoots, so I can be in the office here and taking care of all the other stuff where I was before doing it all out in the field at the same time and taking calls and doing emails and just, So is that kind of the plan, is that you're going to move into, kind of not an admin role, but kind of shoot a little bit less and do more of that admin work? Yeah, absolutely. I want to be able to work on my business.
Right.
I've been working in my business for so long and, staying up till midnight because that, at the end of the day, that's when I have to do all of the work on my business.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't want to do that anymore.
I totally understand. Well, and then, Jeremy, what is, so I guess you're the social media whiz for Blueprint Media now. So do you, and we should have talked about it in the social media sidebar or whatever, but, do you have a plan on what you're going to do for the social media?
Well, and that's what we've been discussing and planning out is, what are other folks doing? I really think it comes down with social media is not necessarily the content, but pushing content out on a regular basis. And that's something that we're going to focus on more, is putting out hopefully daily content. The more eyeballs you can have, as you well know, on your business, then the better. So that's going to be kind of the big focus. It's not necessarily what the content's going to be. It's just putting something out daily.
I do have some advice on that, is that I do think the content does matter. And I think that, for us, it's been a mix, and, we haven't cracked the nut on it completely either. But, one, the content should be authentic. And two, obviously you want to showcase the stuff you're doing. But then the big thing, we've talked about it ad nauseum on here, I think is having behind the scenes content. And that's the stuff that gets the most engagement. That's the stuff that people want to see.
Which I've already been taking pictures and behind the scenes that while we've been here. So.
Perfect. Perfect. Yeah, exactly. And that's it. It's just, it can be as simple as just the phone shot of, lining up this shot, and you just show the camera and what it's seeing. And there you go. That's behind the scenes. Somehow people find that more interesting than the actual photos that we take. And again, just kind of going to be, to have an authentic vibe, from it. I mean, that's really the key. And,
we had just talked about that. I can't remember what it was in reference to, Alex, but we had talked about authenticity, in one of the shoots or something that we were planning out. Didn't want anything to come across as canned or, made up. I really want to focus on, it being authentic, because that's what's going to resonate with people.
Yeah. And I think it's hard. It can be hard, and especially for the photographer types, because so often we're kind of more introverted or, Not all of us, obviously. You have me, but it's like, but at the same time, I'm bad at social media. I can be charismatic on the podcast and whatever, but it's like, I don't know. I just like social media is not my forte, even though I am pretty outgoing.
Yeah, my background is law enforcement, military, and I don't. I really had to force myself to get in front of the camera more because I did not like being, in pictures and things like that. So, but that's this industry is you need to market yourself and the team, and part of that is putting yourself in front of the camera. So, it's definitely a change for me as well.
Yeah. Well, and Alex, you're not you're not comfortable in front of the camera, or how are you feeling about it?
It kind of depends on the day. I'm definitely an extroverted person.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, being in front of the camera doing videos, I mean, I've definitely done them. I've done plenty of them, but I would say that I do hesitate a little bit and get a little bit, nervous. And so
sure.
I just avoid it, I guess, but I'm just, like,
yeah. Well, okay. Well, I guess to switch gears a little bit, because something else I thought of as you're talking about the fact that you've been able to sit and work on your business. I mean, is like getting an admin in the cards for you guys, or is that kind of a more of a longer term goal?
Just hired a VA, which I believe our VAs know each other. Come to find out.
Okay. All right.
And he's taken over the morning uploads and the quality control. So I've been training with him for a few weeks now, and he's doing awesome. And that has taken a lot off in the mornings.
Oh, that's great.
So between my VA and Jeremy here, I've definitely been able to breathe a lot, spend a little bit more time with the kids, be able to sit at the computer, really think about the actual business side of things, be able to talk about it, be able to have the time to talk to other business professionals and kind of gain some insight and advice, and really kind of figure out how to take that next step, but how to take it right, like how to do it right instead of, everything off the cusp.
Well, and then, but you're still answering the phones. I mean, you haven't given Jeremy the phone privileges yet, I'm assuming.
A little bit, actually.
Okay.
We have open phone.
Oh, yeah, of course. I love it.
And so we got him a number, and it was great during the time that we were doing that contract because we had multiple agents calling and texting at the same time, and he was actually able to help respond since he was already in the know of everything that was going on, all the different shoots. So they would just text the one number, and if I couldn't respond, he would respond for me, or vice versa. So it worked out great.
Plus it helps that I've already had that experience on my own. So the customer interaction, was there, and with open phone, yes, definitely a lot easier. We were able to track all the text messages and the phone calls in and out. So open phone helped out quite a bit.
I mean, it's just the best. And I'm about to leave on a little vacation, and I'm just looking forward to turning off my open phone.
Yes.
So, and that's the beauty of it is Alex, you can go on vacation now and just turn it off, and Jeremy can handle it.
That's definitely one of the goals is, at some point I know that I can, if I want to go on a vacation with the family, I can shut my phone off, but the business can still run.
Yeah.
Or at least phone can be answered or emails can be done. And Jeremy is on the same level. So we run the same customer service. We run the same, consistent photography. So, and then also understanding, all the business practices and the ins and outs, it can still run the same. And that's really integral to one of the main reasons why I think bringing a business partner into the business is going to be very helpful.
Oh, for sure. For sure. Well, and so with the partnership now, and so if you don't hire additional admin help, which it kind of sounds like you're not really ready to do that quite yet. And you guys can kind of split up the admin. I mean, what's in terms of, like you said, I'm not really familiar with the area where you live, but you said you're in a small town, but is there like I know I live in a small town and there's only so many houses, there's only so many realtors. And so are you looking at kind of expanding geographically or what's kind of the growth plan?
Yeah, we have, it's a small town, but I don't know what the population here in Centralia is, but we cover an entire county. And then we also cover 3 other neighboring counties. So geographically already, our service area, we are more focused locally, but we have a 100-mile radius.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, 4 counties. Yeah.
Plenty to go around, but
it helps too that we're centrally located right in between Seattle and Portland. We're right on the I-5 corridor. So
yeah, that's I got the name says it all.
Yeah. So
Centralia.
Yeah, Central.
Right.
Yeah. So there's I think that there's going to be a lot of opportunity for us to expand because we can expand, north or south into bigger markets pretty relatively easily, I think, anyway.
Right. Yeah. Everything's relatively pretty easily. Yeah. And that's the thing is, for us, I know, one of the struggles we've had is kind of expanding geographically because the further you're going, the further you are away from headquarters and just being on the ground and just meeting and doing the networking, it's tough because as our business coach says all the time, it's like you have to there has to be that consistency in that marketing, and you're not going to turn a client, from one meeting. Occasionally you can, but you got to be there 3, 4, 5 times, and then that's when they actually start to remember you and start to actually be like, oh yeah, maybe I will use these guys. And we've had great success with that in-person marketing in our home region, but the more we've try to break out of that and are an hour away from Ventura or 45 minutes, it's a little tougher. It's just like we have to familiarize ourselves with the landscape, with the there's just all these, we don't even know who the big producers are. We're figuring it out, but it's I find that's been really, really challenging. Because we have broken in and we have gotten some market share, but we're not where we want to be on it. So I'll be definitely curious to see how you guys do it.
With that growth, that's kind of, and geographically, it's something that I've already been doing for the last 3 years.
Right.
Everything is fairly spread out where we are. You got to go more like, a good 30, 40 minutes north before you get more of a densely populated area. So I kind of, because everything is more spread out, I'm already kind of having to travel a little bit further.
Right. Yeah, you just live in the car basically. Yeah.
And I charge, over, over 50 miles, I charge $2 a mile travel. So I just charge crazy travel. And if they want me to go, then it's worth it. If they don't want to pay the travel, then good. I don't have to drive an hour or 2 hours for a shoot. It's a drag, and I think the busier you get, the harder those shoots are to take because it's just the opportunity cost, right? If you do that shoot has 2 hours of driving, then you could have, if you just stayed home, you could have done 2 shoots in that time. But I think we're going to focus. Jeremy is extremely well connected in the community. He's kind of born and raised in this area. I'm more of a transplant. So, but his connection within the community, like he said, he's, law enforcement for the county in past. So he knows a lot of people, and he's very well, can bring that value and allows us to then focus within the community and the other agents that he knows and kind of get out there together to gain more clients locally.
Yeah. Well, have you rolled him out on your social media? Are people aware that Jeremy has joined the team?
We haven't made like an official announcement. That's something that we do. We actually talked about working on. We got to get bios and pictures, and we create something on our website, and then we're going to record a video, and then have, some social media post or
there you go.
I don't know, a big event. Who knows?
Get it. Well, get on it, because I think, and August is not the good time to do that. You want to roll that out probably in September, October, so, you have a few weeks to get ready.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, having an event is interesting. I mean, we're planning our big opening event for our studio space here and kind of launching the branding side of our business. And, events cost a lot of money, as I'm figuring out. So you're like, oh, okay. How many thousands of dollars can I pay for a bar? Okay, well,
right.
I guess we'll do that. I mean, it's like it's like we could easily spend $7,000 or $9,000 on this party, and we're not. I think we're going to try to keep it under 5, but it's it gets expensive fast because also we have a ton of clients. So we had to go through our list and whittle it down. We had to be like kind of a little ruthless, but we still ended up inviting over. Well, we just were like,
some are going to end up with some FOMO here.
Well, it's just obviously you have to have your clients with the biggest spend, and then we kind of focused on people who are more local because clients who live an hour away, they're not necessarily going to come anyway.
Yeah.
And there's definitely a few that we're like, oh, they're not going to come, but it's like, okay, we gotta, because even if you're inviting on paperless post, it costs you 50 cents for each person you invite. Right. So, but I'm like, okay, but it's 50 cents to let that person know that we have the space and keep them, keep us front of mind, all that kind of stuff. So even if they're not going to come, but then you're like, well, what if 300 people do end up coming? And then it's like, okay, we are going to spend a shit ton of money if that's the case. So, but that's okay. But, we're kind of thinking of it as our, it's our marketing budget. And so I think we're hopeful that having the space is going to, kind of elevate our brand. And it looks like you have a space too. You have a dedicated office space now that's not in your home, or are you still working? Oh, nice.
Yep. It's a small office. I actually rent it from a friend. I'm actually inside an Allstate agency that my friend owns, and he had these empty offices. And I don't know, it's been 6 months ago or 8 months ago that I was in here with another friend and saw the empty office, and I was like, "Hey, are you renting these out?" And he's like, "Yeah." Well, made me a cheap price, and
luckily there's an empty office next door to it that we have a plan for. But
I think that's key. I think having now, and we've been in this space, I don't know, not even a couple months at this point, but it's like we it's just nice to have a place to come that's not your house to get some work done. So then that's really good. Well, in getting the space, I mean, that's something that absolutely takes action to do, which means it is time for our action items. And our action items today are sponsored by Pixel CRM. Pixel CRM is the only CRM made by a real estate media professional for real estate media professionals. So we just sent out a mailing for our big grand opening party, and guess what? We used Pixel CRM. We use Pixel CRM to do that because their mailing list feature is so robust. You can segment it because we weren't inviting all our clients. We were just inviting some of our clients. So we went through and we were very easily been able to make a filter and make a group for those, and then just send the invitation or to save the date to those clients. So I really think that's just one of the very million ways that Pixel CRM can help enhance your business. So go to pixelcrm.com. That's pixlcrm.com. No E in Pixel. And use the code Upmarket, and you're going to get a no-risk trial of this amazing software system. pixelcrm.com. So, which one of you guys wants to go first? I think Alex has a little sly smile. Let's have Alex go first.
So my action item is that if you're thinking of figuring out how to take your business to the next level, or if you're thinking about anything that really involves advice, would be to get a business coach or to find a business coach.
Oh, love it.
Have a meeting, somebody who is outside the realm of the emotions that creep in when you're the business owner.
Yeah.
That can really give you just straight up transparent answers of like, that's a good idea, or no, don't do that.
Yeah.
And then guide you in the right direction.
Yeah. I mean, we swear by our business coach. I mean, we talk twice a month, and, sometimes some calls are not as fruitful as others. It's just when there's not when there's nothing much going on, can just sound like, oh yeah, sales are good. Okay, great. But as we know, and I know listeners to the podcast know our business coach Jeff, and he had Jeff Alcasian, and he was on the podcast I think in our first 10 episodes. So I think it's definitely worth it. That's one of our really good episodes to go back and listen to from a business standpoint. And then I think from that, Alex heard him on there, and I know you've worked with Jeff a little bit as well, because business coaching can be remote. You do not have to live in the same place. So yeah, a hearty endorsement from the Upmarket crew on a business coach for sure. But you have to find the right fit. You got to find someone good. All right, Jeremy, you got one?
Well, kind of. This is my first time for this.
We'll
so
we'll take a kind of.
Part of it kind of mirrors off what Alex just said, and that is not necessarily a business coach, but finding people who are in the industry and seeking those people out and just asking those questions like, how did you get to where you were at? That's huge. So when Alex and I first met and we're talking about the business and everything, he's so much more knowledgeable, and it just opened my eyes to, okay, I didn't think of it like this. So that kind of leads into the second part of it, which is just be humble. When I was branching out on my own, just over a month ago, and got this message out of the blue from Alex about wanting to meet up and talk, I had already formulated in my mind and had a plan moving forward for my business, to be out on my own. So when I took this meeting with Alex and it expanded from there, I just felt humbled because he's so much more knowledgeable in the industry that I was in, and that wasn't a problem for me. You really have to put all your pride aside. Is if you're wanting to grow, that's really the only way you can grow is, to seek out and take the advice from people who have actually been in it longer than you, and continue down that road. Cause that's how I'm growing right now. And that's how Alex is growing. Cause he's, taken what I've learned too, all the good and the bad, and he's growing from that. So just be humble and seek out others with more knowledge.
Cool. Yeah, that's great. That's really, really good advice. And of course, we've talked about so many times, like a great way to meet other people in this industry and talk to them is go into PMRE. That's such I think a key thing to help grow your business. And if you can't afford it this year, if you don't win the sweepstakes, obviously there's so many people, there's so many Facebook groups, there's so many things you can definitely find people to talk to who are going through the same stuff that you're going through, or are a little further down the road than you are. So mine is very simple, and it kind of triggered me to think of this when we were talking during the show. My action item is it doesn't have to be this specific thing, but get OpenPhone. I think that is such a key way that we have been able to have a better quality of life. And I want, for everyone listening, I want you guys to have a better quality of life. And so OpenPhone is a voice over internet protocol. It's an app basically you can have on your phone where you can, you have one central number, but it can ring multiple phones. And so for us, the texts and calls to our main office line go to Chelsea, to me, and to Mark. And any one of us can answer the phone. Any one of us can send a text. It doesn't matter where we are. And you can turn it on and off. And so it's really a way to have freedom. And so I would say that even if you don't have a team, that I think having a dedicated line like that you can turn off, that is not your personal line, and it actually just segments business and personal, I think is such a good thing to do. And even if you ever have the eye towards expanding, it's very key. And even if you're a solo shooter and you can, and you want to go on vacation, you can still, give someone else, a trusted person, or, and kind of admin type role to have the phone while you're gone and keep your business rolling. So, and I think we have an affiliate code for OpenPhone. Of course, I'm a shill. Why not? And I'll put that in the show notes. So you guys can check that out if you haven't already. So that's OpenPhone. So thank you guys. I wish you the best of luck on this journey, and I really appreciate you coming on and talking about it. And the other person, well, I appreciate so many people, Mark and Chelsea, who are not here right now, but I also, and our editor, Bethany. I love Bethany. The people I appreciate, I think in this realm more than anyone is our listeners. So thank you to our listeners. Thank you so much for listening. We're so happy to be here, to be doing this podcast. And thank you guys. And hopefully Alex, Jeremy, hopefully we'll see you in November at PMRE.
We will.
And there you go.
We will
Until
be there.
next time. Thank you, everybody. Thanks for
for having
listening.
us on. Appreciate it.
Upmarket is a production of Upmarket Studios. This episode was produced by Chelsea Froelich and edited by Bethany Diedrich. Thank you so much for listening, and we really hope you listen to the next one too. In the meantime, our wish for you is to not have to shoot any Friday night Twilight shoots. Thank you for everything.